Hi Virgo, welcome to your May 2017 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. So, yeah, we're in May. This is a general reading. If you're looking for love, please look at my channel because I did do a specific May reading for love. But this could include anything. Before I begin, I just wanted to let you know a few things are happening astrologically in May. We have Venus in Aries all month long. And this is pretty significant in itself because, as I understand it, usually the transit of Venus is 3.5 weeks. So it would likely be the case in most months that Venus would change signs. And this is the second go around because we had the retrograde starting in Venus back, when was that? March 4th or something. So now it's direct and it has re-entered Aries and going to be there all month. And so looking at that from the perspective of how it affects you, that would be I think that would be your 8th house, wouldn't it? Yeah, because Pisces is your 7th house. So that has to do with issues surrounding inheritance, because money can be connected to Venus, as well as intimacy issues. And so you may have been dealing with that with a committed partner and going back and forth about, are you really sharing of yourself beyond just being that partner in, in writing, or just when we go out, that's your title. You're my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, you're my husband, you're my wife. But it's not really, it's just kind of shallow. And now maybe it can become a deeper, intimate union. Okay, and then we're having a full moon in Scorpio on May 10th. And this is going to be in your 3rd house of communication. So the 3rd house is also your siblings and other family members, like I think aunts and uncles fits in that category, but cousins, or aunts and uncles the 6th house, I'm not sure. I think it's cousins. And just so, but definitely siblings, definitely your local area. So you may be leaving, it's like moving, but maybe moving very close by. Sometimes the 3rd house can be endings, but it's possible too that you could be finishing a writing project, finishing something. Maybe you were preparing a blog and now you have, maybe you're going to discontinue it, or maybe you're going to launch it later, but you finished working on the preparations for it. That's always a possibility. The kids are coming home from school. I always time these readings great. No, wait a minute. It's after 4 o'clock. They shouldn't be. I don't know what's going on. But anyway. So there's also going to be a new moon at the end of the month. That's going to be in Taurus. In Gemini. What I want to say before I tell you about that new moon is that most of the month the sun will be in Taurus. So Taurus is another earth sign to you. And as such, these times of the year when it's kind of compatible in terms of the same element, I think those are very nice times for a sign. So the sun will be in a nice angle to either your sun or your rising sign, and you have that compatibility, the sun being in the 9th house and kind of warming that area related to either higher education and issues around God and your philosophy, and giving you creative ideas in regards to these issues. But you're going to have a new moon in another, in a sign that's actually your 10th house, right next to Taurus, which is your house of career. So that would be a very good thing because having a new beginning in the career sector could mean a lot of doors opening and a lot of new experiences, and by extension, maybe more money, maybe more responsibility, more prestige, you know, a higher job title or whatever it is that you are pursuing. So that could be really cool. I'm also, I wanted to tell you, I'm doing a different layout this time. And so I've been enjoying the change. Sometimes I try it out and I don't like, it doesn't feel right, but this feels very comfortable for me. And it's not really super different, but it's a little bit of an alteration. So just to let you know that. Okay. Wow. Well, I have the Death and Tower cards, so it sounds to me that some of you are going to have a lot of changes in your life in May, although, you know, take this with a grain of salt as a general reading for so many people. Just in terms of the symbolism of what this stands for. You have a fair number of major arcana cards as well, which kind of indicates that. Of course, I'm picking more cards overall, I think. I'm picking 9 cards. I think before I picked 7. But still. Okay, so let me look at this for 1 second. Well, I can tell you that the overall theme is the Page of Pentacles. And one thing I forgot to talk about, or maybe I alluded to it when I was talking about the sun being in the 9th house in Taurus, is that the 9th house connects to universities, so this could be you if you're attending school, and this is the card of the student. But and that can be a very good experience for some of you in the month of May, astrologically speaking. But in terms of this card, the page can be a messenger, and the message can be about something related to career. So talking about what I said before about the 10th house being activated at the end of the month, this could be kind of the catalyst of all of that. Now, I should tell you that the upper row are cards related to the recent past that are impacting the present, but I've kind of changed that around a little bit as I've been doing these readings. It seems to me that they may reflect things earlier in the month. It may even be within the month of May, but coming into the month. They could be people involved that are playing a role in your life. If you're watching this around the time that I'm filming it, which is April 11th, the full moon in, Libra, you will maybe not have those top row things have happened yet. They may be yet to come. So they may be your future. All of this may be your future. But again, looking at it symbolically, not saying that your future is set in stone and that you don't have any say in what happens. So the Page of Pentacles can be a message of a practical nature dealing with life where it has to do with money or your career or job information. And it can even be about receiving a small lump of money sometimes. It could be an earth sign individual. You are an earth sign. This could be a facet of you But it could be somebody who's either another Virgo or a Capricorn or a Taurus individual who is featured in your life in a significant way in the month. And I even think that middle row could be mid-month. But look what's coming in. The Five of Wands, discord. With the Death card, it could be that you can't take it anymore about a situation. Maybe it's on the job. Maybe there's just too much dog-eat-dog in your workplace and you just can't take it anymore. If that's the case, then you may hear about a new job within a very quick amount of time. But you don't like the way that you feel with this. You may feel like you have to constantly prove yourself. In private relationships, it can be a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, a lot of combative energy. It could involve an air sign. I'm sorry, a fire sign. And it could be an Aries person. But the other fire signs are Leo and Sagittarius. And then we have the Death card, which is like change is inevitable. Whether you like it or not, the situation has come to an end. And it's time to move on. And it's time to realize that something has served its purpose and it's over with. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to end something during the month of May, but you may come to the realization that it's over with. That's why I say just look at it symbolically, because even with the Death card symbolizing irrevocable change, it doesn't mean that the person is going to actually make those changes during that time frame. It just, once you realize something, it's all over but for the shouting. It's going to happen, and sometimes you don't even have to actually lift a finger. It'll leave by its own accord, and maybe it can be a very smooth transition. But it is about transition. I think Virgos can handle transition, though. You're mutable signs, so you tend to adapt to change. And you're not all that broken up about it. You are capable and flexible, when it comes to new experiences. And then we have the Page of Wands. This is the saving grace. Good news. Hearing something about a new venture. Hearing something about a new relationship. So when talking about that third house again, where the full moon is, this could be the catalyst for that. This could be, the third house can be the internet, and the full moon can make you aware of something. Maybe a message comes through from someone online. You may be even communicating with somebody electronically, and it has something to do with, it's all tied in together with a past relationship. Obviously, even with job things, you could hear about it online or investigate. But there's news. It's not just about investigating something. It's about hearing back from someone. We're going to have Mercury turn direct on May 3rd. So you are ruled by Mercury, Virgo. So it's possible that Mercury retrogrades affect you more than the average person. But, or maybe you handle them better. But the point is that for everybody, during Mercury retrogrades, sometimes messages get lost or they are delayed. And once Mercury goes direct, a lot of times if you're aware of this and you're very conscious of these transits, you can see things start to kind of go faster. You can see sometimes when Mercury goes retrograde that things slow down. Communications slow down. And for instance, if you're looking for work, if the top two cards indicate a job situation that has gone by the wayside. After that Mercury going direct, especially as it starts gaining steam later in the month, you're going to see a lot more movement probably. And so we have in the middle row here, which is the current situation, the Wheel of Fortune. That's about becoming aligned once more. Everything coming back up to speed. If you felt like out of sorts, if you felt like things were not happening for you. Sometimes if you're in like a toxic relationship, that can really mess with all areas of your life, and you can feel like you're not yourself. I was going to say that Jupiter is the card connected to the Wheel of Fortune. Jupiter is in your second house of earned income. And your house of earned income is a house that, to have Jupiter there, is about luck and expansion. And it can mean multiple income streams. It can give you, you can be in the right place at the right time. Whether you want to call that luck or not, I don't really believe too much in luck anymore, but you can be in the right place at the right time, and you're able to capitalize on something that happens, and therefore are able to expand that area, that sector. In terms of love, it could be that you're poised to meet the right person. Because especially if you've gotten away from somebody else, it's a way to really, I would say, state your claim, or stake your claim to the universe that you are deserving of love. If you stay in toxic relationships, you're telling the universe, yes sir, may I have another, that kind of like glutton for punishment type of mentality. Because according to the law of attraction, this is a yes-based universe, and so it only operates on the positive, even if the positive is a negative in our lives. So we have to gravitate towards people, places, and things that uplift us. And then just by doing that, we get more of the same, instead of getting dragged down. And speaking of getting dragged down, this could be the culprit. This would be an air sign. And I think I mentioned it could be did I mention it could be a fire sign because of the Five of Wands? But the Five of Wands might be just pointing out the discord, and this could be a Knight of Swords, could be the actual person. It's in the reverse position, so this is somebody who is not good for you. Knights can be, I would say, up to the age of 40 nowadays, and they can be, especially, I'm speaking specifically with the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. They can be chaotic energy, where there is a sense of the person involved not being disciplined. They are they can be a maverick, where they're just very, very energetic. But the Knight of Swords in reverse can be somebody who is abusive verbally, who doesn't care about the feelings of other people. Even in the upright position, this is somebody who's very outspoken, but in the reverse position, this person can be rude. And it could be, if I was going to bet on it, it probably would be a Gemini. I don't know if it's connected to Gemini specifically. I'll have to look that up. But Geminis can use words like a weapon. And this person might even be a manipulative, I was going to say SOB, and really get inside your head and, distort your perceptions of yourself. Now, I say that with great caution, because I don't want you to think that you're a victim of life and that somebody can manipulate you without your consent. But if you allow them to, for whatever reason, you fall under their spell, that could be very problematic, because these can be those kinds of people that are fast talkers. And he may be someone who is maybe he's even flattering, but he has a forked tongue and is very, very persuasive, but like a used car salesman type of deceptive individual. And so you may be really improving your life, but for some reason this person is still plaguing you. I think the last row explains it all. All major arcana, all cards of transformation. These are the outcome cards, or even the advice. The Fool card suggests that you are to embark on a new path and not worry about where you're going. Travel lightly and have faith in the journey, but see your mission as the journey and not the destination. Whether you're doing this, if this is someone, the Knight of Swords can be somebody, by the way, in your workplace, your current workplace, or even if you have a new job. It's right under the Page of Wands. You might want to be careful if somebody offers you a job that seems too good to be true. You have to be careful of that for sure. So professionally, in the middle row, the Wheel of Fortune is a very good omen, but you have this character, whoever he is in your life, that may be deceptive. And the Fool card, ironically, you think of somebody who's a fool as somebody who's gullible, but in this context, it's somebody who is very trusting in the universe to have their back, and they want to just experience. So for some of you, because I told you about your 9th house being activated with Taurus. And my feeling is that Mercury, I didn't look this up, and I'm sure that Mercury will be going back into Taurus during May. I'm not 100% on that, but the 9th house is the house of foreign travel. And you did get the World card. So some of you, and with the Sun in that house, you may be doing some of you may be doing some travel. And so the Fool card could literally be you've booked this trip, and you really you don't have an itinerary. You're just going to just go wherever you feel like it. And with the World card, it's like kind of like when you finish college and you take a gap year and you go and travel just to gain experience. They're doing that more nowadays with young people, not going to college directly out of high school. But you could be like 50 years old and have a gap year too. If you're ending, let's say you're ending some kind of a career and you don't know exactly what you want to do next, you may, maybe you even receive some money that allows you to take a trip. But the World card is about a chapter ending in your life, Virgo. So that will be the same no matter what. And with the Tower card, as part of the outcome, there can be, a sudden revelation of maybe what you came here to do. And that could affect future career choices. It can also be that you have a sudden event that really frees you from a lot of things. Maybe it's right underneath the Knight of Swords in reverse that allows you to let go of that relationship totally. Sometimes it can be a shocking surprise, but I think sometimes it can just be an aha moment, like eureka. This is why our relationship cannot be anymore. As I said to you at the beginning of this reading with the Death card, in the past position influencing what's happening now, I feel like some of you already have that understanding, that feeling, that vibe, that things are changing. And yet you may still have this person in your life. And you're kind of wondering, how do I deal with it? You know, having this person still hanging around. And it just could mean that you close the door suddenly on that person, that you just like, maybe you decide to travel, and that alone puts, closes the door on that chapter of your life by putting actual physical miles distance between the two of you. But for other people, there may be some other event. As I said to you, I think I said to you, sometimes you don't have to do anything, and the universe will, work on your behalf, and you can, end this situation without having to actually be the bad guy. Things will just work out in that direction. So it's a very dramatic ending, obviously, Virgo, but it's very exciting that you have these major arcana cards at the end, because it points to possibly, maybe it's that last week when the new moon, or the last 10 days with the Gemini new moon. Is that what, yeah, is that what, yeah, it's going to be Gemini, isn't it? Or am I mixed up here? I hope I didn't say, actually I shouldn't have said Gemini. No, that's the full moon for you, is actually your 10th house. I was saying something else. Did I talk about the new moon in Gemini? That's your 4th house of home and family. No. Okay, Gemini is your new moon. That's your 10th house of career. Yeah, so it could have, that could be like the catalyst for a new career. Maybe you even get a job overseas. That's always a possibility. So all of these things, that could be, the last 3 cards could be talking about things that come about that involve your expansion, involve you going beyond your little area, which I talked about with the 3rd house. And oh, there you go. I said there's a full moon in your 3rd house of the local area. So maybe you're ending that phase, and maybe you're branching out. Maybe you're going to become a bit of a nomad for a while, a gypsy. I don't know. But anyway, Virgo, it's very exciting, and good luck to you. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great May. Bye.